Okay, today we are going to discuss about the strategy to clear the SBI clerk in 2025. So here we're gonna say that we have two strategies particularly, and one is for solely on prelims examination, and another is for prelims and mains. So, for example, if your prelims score is if your prelims not exactly score, if you consider the mock test percentile, especially in any mock test, take any mock test, if you see the percentile, if the percentile is above 80% and less than 80%, if it is a percentile is above 80%, you have to start preparing for the mains too, because if you solely concentrate on the prelims, if you only concentrate on the prelims examination, and after the prelims examination, even if you qualify the prelims, there is only 1 month of time to for the mains. So it might be difficult to cover the current affairs section especially. So I recommend you to start prepare for the mains examination if your percentile is greater than 80. Okay, and immediately start preparation for mains examination, especially start reading current affairs, daily current affairs. It will be beneficial for you. And if your percentile is less than 80, then try to get more than 80%, which means you are somewhat weak in prelims. So you have to find out your weak areas and focus on it. And let's talk about the strategy to crack the prelims, to clear the prelims especially. So prelims is not a it's not a big issue. So prelims is all about your fastness. So prelims is all about within limited amount of the time how many questions you solve. So that is main thing. That is the main aim of the prelims. So here all you need to do is increasing your fastness while solving your reasoning section or also math section. So let us consider in the reasoning. In the reasoning section, most of the questions from the puzzles and seating arrangements. So try to practice your puzzle and seating arrangements daily from right now, from today. Because if you start, if you, for example, let's take a puzzle, and if you solve the puzzle in 5 minutes. So after 1 month of practice, you can solve it in 3 minutes. And after 2 months of practice, you can solve it in 2 minutes. So all you need to do is practice. All you need to do is practice. And it's also not too much practice. It's you have to do a limited practice. Okay, if you, for example, you cannot practice reasoning 6 hours a day, 6 hours a day, because even if you practice reasoning more amount of the time, you will be exhausted. So try to practice reasoning at least 1.5 hour to the 3 hours per day, and take a breaks in middle. And let us consider the weightage of this reasoning concept. The reasoning concept, the puzzle and seating arrangement consists of the most number of the questions. So we have the 15 to 20 questions. So try to practice the puzzle and seating arrangements daily. And sources for the puzzles and seating arrangements are, you can buy the book of reasoning ability in English, banking by textbook. Okay, there is a book which consists of the 4,000 questions. So you can search on it, and you can buy that book, and you can practice daily. And syllogisms also, try to learn the concepts of the syllogism, and don't go for the short tricks. Okay, and try the Venn diagram method. So if you learn the concepts of the Venn diagram, and eventually by the practice you can solve it very easily. You can also solve the mains level questions. For example, if you go for the short tricks, and there is a method of 150, there is a method of 150 for the short tricks. Even if you learn this concept, it will take more amount of the time for you to solve the question. And with this method, you cannot solve the possibility questions also. So try to learn Venn diagrams and practice the Venn diagrams. And you can easily solve the syllogisms questions. And talking about the inequality, it's the easiest concept. Okay, anybody can do it with simple techniques. And coding and decoding also easiest concept. And alphanumeric series, and there is a thing, they can give alphanumeric series or a number series, and you can try, you can easily do this. Okay, and blood relations, all you have to do is a practice. And miscellaneous questions there are, and order and ranking, you need to practice direction distances. So while attempting strategy, what would be the attempting strategy for the prelims reasoning paper? So let us consider in the prelims you have to do more number of the questions. You have to do more number of the questions in a limited amount of the time. So try to do the easiest questions. Try to do the easiest questions first. You cannot like, for example, if you go through a puzzle, okay, you could go through a puzzle, and you may find you have a confidence that you can solve this after reading the question. Okay, and you have to do that. If the question seems difficult, you should not do that. Okay, you should skip, and you can do the remaining easiest questions. Okay, like inequality, syllogisms, and blood relations is the easiest concept, and coding and decoding is another easiest concept, and direction and distance also one of the easiest concept. Okay, and the last, if you have the 3 minutes or 2 minutes, 2 minutes, in the last 3 to 2 minutes, try to solve the miscellaneous, because in the 3 to 2 minutes you cannot solve the puzzle. You don't have much time to solve the puzzle and answer the questions. So there is a this for a so at the last minutes, it's the last 3 to minutes, try to solve the miscellaneous problems. Okay, and this would be the attempt strategy. And let's talk about the quant. So the quant is all about your speed. Speed is one of the most important in the quant. Okay, if you improve your speed, you can solve 30 questions. You can solve 30 questions. Okay, so if the main important thing is you have to increase the speed. How to increase the speed? Okay, and try to do additions fast. Okay, try to do subtractions fast, and try to do multiplications fast, and learn up to 30 tables. Learn up to 30 tables. So if you do these things, the prelims mainly, you have the 10 to 15 questions, 10 to 15 questions of the simplification. So you cannot spend 30 seconds also. You cannot spend the 30 seconds also in the for one question. You have to spend 10 to 15 seconds. And if needed, you should not use your pen. You have to use your mind to calculate and answer the question. Okay, and try. You have to solve the simplifications very fastly. Okay, and there is arithmetic problems. So arithmetic problems, I recommend you to go for the arithmetic problems at last. Okay, because arithmetic problems, it may take time. It may take at least 1 minute of the time. Arithmetic problems, it may take at least 1 minute of the time. So you should not solve the arithmetic problems at first. Okay, even if you encounter the arithmetic problems at first, do not solve those problems. Okay, kindly skip the questions. Okay, first of all, your main aim is to solve the simplification and missing numbers, either wrong numbers. They can give either missing numbers or wrong numbers. And the data interpretation also. So the prelims level data interpretation is not much difficult. It is so easy. It's all based on your calculation. You have to calculate the numbers in your mind. So based on, I have cleared all the prelims. I have cleared the RRB clerk, PO, IBPS clerk, PO. I have cleared the NACL assistant clerk. I have cleared all the prelims. So based on the experience, I'm saying that you have to be very speed in the quant section. You have to be very speed at your calculation, especially. So for example, if there is a DI and there is a bar graph, okay, you have to calculate the difference. Okay, this is a 376 and this is the 482. Okay, and in the question they ask the differences between these two. So you don't have to 482 minus 376 blah blah blah. You don't have to do like that. You should not do like that. You have to just calculate the things. You have to just calculate the numbers in your mind. You have to reach to that level. So when you reach to that level, you can easily solve the problems. Okay, so I recommend you to increase your speed. Speed is the main thing to clear the to gain more marks in the quant session, especially in the prelims. Okay, because there is a simplification 15 questions, and there is a missing numbers and wrong numbers, and data interpretation also is all about your reading skills. So your reading skills, you have to increase your reading skills while solving the data interpretation, because you should not read 2 to 3 times a question. Okay, you cannot read the 2 to 3 times. You cannot read a question 2 to 3 times. You have to read in a one go, and you have to solve in a one go. So then only you can gain more marks in quant section. Okay, and that's all about data interpretation and simplification. And when it comes to missing numbers and wrong numbers also, you need to be very fast in subtractions. So for example, there is a missing numbers, and the missing numbers also, you have to do subtractions. So then only you can find a particular logic, and then only you can find a particular missing number, either wrong number. So in the missing numbers and wrong numbers also, you have to be very speed in calculation, especially subtractions. Especially you have to be speed in subtractions. Okay, and let's talk about the arithmetic. So no one can do arithmetic all questions. Okay, no one can do, because in the 20 minutes of time, no one can do all the questions. So all you have to do is you have to complete all these sections. You have to complete this section, you have to complete this section, you have to complete this section, and at last you have to come this arithmetic. So if you are able to complete these 4 sections in 15 minutes, you have approximately 25 marks in your hand. Okay, in the 5 minutes, try to at least solve the 6 to 7 questions. And in arithmetic also, you cannot solve all the questions. You have to select the questions in which you are very confident in that particular concept. For example, there is an averages. Okay, if you are confident about averages, you have to do that problem. Okay, for example, there is a concept of mixtures and allegations. Okay, you are not that much confident in mixtures and allegations, you cannot solve that question, because if you try to solve that question, if you try to attempt that question, it will take more amount of the time. So even if you, for example, if you solve the question, it will take approximately 45 seconds to 1 minute. Okay, what if you cannot solve the question, what if you cannot find the logic? So it may take 2 minutes of your time, 2 minutes of your time, and you cannot able to gain 1 mark also in 2 minutes. Okay, the main case, okay, they cannot give you extra marks if you solve the difficult question, right? So each and every question will carry only 1 mark. So all you have to do is you have to attempt the question paper very strategically, very mindfully. Okay, you have to select the easiest questions and you have to gain more marks. So that is the main aim. So try to be confident in concepts such as averages. There is easy concepts, averages, and there is a ages. Okay, calculation about ages, and there are some concepts, simple interest and compound interest. These are the very easiest concepts, and try to solve more problems, especially in these things, and be confident in these particular sections. Then you can easily gain more marks in this section. Okay, this is the attempting strategy of the quant, and also you have to do practice, and for practice try to do checklists that will be provided by Ashish sir. And there are, if you go to Telegram and also search that, and Ashish, the name is I don't know his full name, Ashish sir. So search this thing, and you may find his Telegram page, and you may find his checklist, and try to solve as many as checklist. Okay, and this is all about the quant section. And when it comes to English section, we have two sections. Simply, we have the reading comprehension, and grammar. So there is approximately 2 months of time from right now. Okay, and so in order to, English is one of the most important section. So anybody can do this. Anybody can do reasoning and maths if one practice. And when it comes to English, it requires more than that. It requires more understanding about the English concepts. So the first thing you have to do is reading. You have to increase your reading skills. And how can one increase the reading skills? So by reading books. So read books, any book, take a novel or take a personality development books, any books, read any books. And this will also be helpful if you crack any examination and went to interview. Okay, you can say that my hobby is reading books. Okay, read any book, and this will eventually develop your reading skills, and you can solve reading comprehension questions very quickly. Okay, and try to read any book daily. Spend 30 minutes of time, 30 minutes of time, and by reading book, and you can eventually be confident in reading comprehension, and also you will gain some grammar knowledge also. So by reading the thing, by reading a sentence, you can easily find where is the error. Okay, and for error detection, I would recommend you to read the 120 rules of grammar, 120 rules of grammar, and this will be available in Telegram as a PDF also. So just type this just type this title, and you will find the PDF in a Telegram. So this will be by Nisha ma'am. So try to enter this also. You can also join this Nisha ma'am Telegram channel. So you can find this PDF there. You can read that. And misspelled. Okay, and you have to know the things. You have to know the spellings and fillers. And fillers also be. You can also solve the fillers if you read the if your reading comprehension skills are very good. Okay, and that can be achieved by reading book. Okay, so reading book is very important. So try to read at least 30 minutes per day. Okay, and this will eventually develop your English reading skills. And word swap, close test, these things, especially these things can be you can these things can be practiced by in your mock test. And you will, these things are very easy. So all you have to do, gain marks, all you have to gain more marks in reading comprehension and error detection. Okay, and sentence rearrangement, sometimes they also give sentence rearrangement. Okay, so in conclusion, all I have to say is you have to read book at least 30 minutes a day, whatever it is book. Okay, so it will eventually develop your reading comprehension, and also also grammar skills also. And this book, 120 rules of grammar, and these things is enough for the English. And that's all about the strategy of the SBI Clerk Prelims. If your prelims mock test percentile is 80%, above 80%, so which means you are 80% above all the people who are appearing the test. So which means you will guaranteely clear the prelims. So this is the time you have to consider for the mains. Okay, if your percentile is above 80%, you have to start preparing for the mains. Start preparing for the mains means you have to daily read the current affairs. You have to read the current affairs, and you also have to practice some mains level puzzles, especially for the reasoning. And you also have to solve mains level quant paper. So even if you have a time, you can do these two things. Okay, but mainly don't forget to cover the current affairs, because even if you clear the prelims, you have only 1 month, 1 month for the mains. So if you have only 1 month for the mains, you cannot cover all the current affairs. You won't be able to cover all the current affairs, and you won't be able to spend your time by solving the puzzles and quant also, which is very very important for the mains level. For the mains level, you cannot able to solve, you cannot able to practice the mains level puzzles and mains level quant problems. So because there is only 1 month, okay, and everybody say the current affairs are important because it consists of the 40 marks. So what you will do is you will spend more amount of the time in learning the current affairs. Even if you spend more amount of the time in the current affairs, you cannot remember, because current affairs requires at least 4 to 5 revisions. Then only you will be able to remember the questions, remember the concepts. So all you have to do is read the current affairs. Okay, read the current affairs, daily current affairs, and do revision weekly. Okay, and at the time you, after clearing the prelims, you can concentrate on puzzles and quants, mains level puzzles and mains level quant. Okay, and this is all about strategy about of a clerk, SBI clerk prelims and mains. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye bye.